You know, there's this incredible secret sense that's guiding your every single move, and you probably don't even notice it. It's working right this second, keeping you balanced in your chair, guiding your hand, all happening in the background, completely automatic. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain on this secret sense and explore the hidden world of your body's own intelligence.
Go ahead, try this with me. Close your eyes. Now, take your index finger and bring it right to the tip of your nose. How did you do that? Seriously, how did your brain know exactly where your hand was and where your nose was without you looking?
That wasn't a magic trick. That's your body's built-in GPS system, constantly mapping out your own position in real time. Just think about that for a second. It's a sense just as real as sight or hearing, but it's one we almost never, ever consciously think about.
Now, the fancy scientific name for this superpower is proprioception. It's this subconscious awareness that lets you walk down the street without staring at your feet or reach for a coffee cup while looking somewhere else. It is absolutely essential for balance, coordination, well, for basically every physical thing you do.
So how on earth does this internal GPS actually work? Well, it's not just one thing. It's this huge, complex network. Picture millions of tiny messengers embedded in your muscles, your joints, even your inner ear, and they're all firing real-time data back to Command Central.
Okay, so let's meet the key players. First, you've got your brain. That's the central processor doing all the calculations. Then you have your inner ear, which is a huge help with balance. But the real stars of the show, the boots on the ground, are these tiny sensors called mechanoreceptors that are literally embedded all throughout your muscles and tendons.
And this is where it gets really, really cool. We're going to zoom way in now, down to the microscopic level, to take a look at the most important sensor for proprioception. It's called the muscle spindle.
Just imagine these as microscopic little tension detectors woven right into the fabric of your muscles. Their entire job is to feel out two things. One, how much a muscle is being stretched, and two, how fast it's stretching. And as soon as they sense that, they fire that information straight to your brain.
And check out the design here, it's just brilliant. Inside this little outer capsule, you've got these specialized muscle fibers called intrafusal fibers. Now, unlike all the other fibers in your muscle, their purpose isn't to create force, it's to sense it. They're reporters, not lifters.
And the design gets even more clever. These little sensor fibers are highly specialized. You've got this one type, the nuclear bag 1 fiber, and it's all about dynamics. It senses the speed of the stretch. The other two, they're static. They're sensing the overall length of the muscle. And that's the key here. Your brain isn't just getting a signal, it's getting this incredibly rich data stream on both how far and how fast every muscle is moving, all the time.
Okay, so why does all this microscopic detail matter? Well, it turns out the number of these sensors a muscle has tells you pretty much everything you need to know about its job. Let's put this into practice and compare two very different muscles.
So in one corner, we have a big power muscle, the biceps, built for things like lifting heavy stuff. And in the other corner, you have these small, deep muscles in your neck that make thousands of tiny, precise adjustments all day long just to keep your head balanced. They have totally different jobs, and as you're about to see, they are wired completely differently. And wow, this chart just says it all. Look at the density of these muscle spindles per gram of muscle tissue. The biceps has about 2. Now look at the deep neck muscles, 36. That is incredible. We're talking 18 times the sensor density. Your neck is absolutely packed with these things because it needs that constant high-definition feedback for posture and balance. But this beautifully tuned system, well, it doesn't always stay perfect. So what happens when these incredibly important signals start to get a little fuzzy, especially as we get older? The signs of poor proprioception are probably things a lot of us associate with aging. You know, issues with balance, maybe feeling a bit clumsier or less coordinated, and of course, a higher risk of falls. This isn't just about muscles getting weaker, it's about the signal coming from the muscle getting weaker.
Yeah, over time, that crystal clear, strong signal between the body and the brain can start to get some static on the line, becoming weaker and less precise. And that decline has a direct impact on our stability and how confident we feel when we move.
And now we know there's a clear biological reason for this. Research, like the finding in this quote, shows that as we age, the actual number of those specialized sensor fibers inside the muscle spindles starts to go down. And it turns out there's one specific culprit. And here it is. The main issue is the loss of these nuclear chain fibers. Remember them from the table? They're the sensors for static position, the ones that tell your brain where your limbs are when they're holding still. When you start to lose those, it's like your body's GPS can't find the little "you are here" dot on the map. And that directly contributes to that feeling of instability.
But, it is not all bad news. This isn't necessarily a one-way street of decline. Let's finish out by looking at how this sense can be tested and, this is the important part, how it can be improved.
The tests doctors and therapists use are actually surprisingly simple. You've got the Romberg test, basically just standing with your eyes closed to see how much you sway. And of course, our old friend, the finger-to-nose test. These simple movements can reveal a ton about how well that internal GPS is functioning. And here is the really hopeful takeaway. Your proprioception isn't set in stone. It can be trained. Just like you can go to the gym to build muscle strength, you can do specific exercises to sharpen this sense. Things like targeted physical therapy, balance exercises, yoga, Tai Chi, they can all help improve that communication between your body and your brain.
So, this silent sense is humming along in the background, shaping your entire physical experience of the world. It really is the unsung hero of every step you take and every move you make. So the final question is pretty simple. Isn't it time we started listening to it?